Thank you for making time on Saturday morning. So, my name is David. I'm not a full-time photographer in the sense that I don't make 100% of my income from photography. I do take freelance jobs and things like that. But yeah, I do have a day job. So, but photography has been my main passion since.
Official manager, by the way.
I'm a product manager for Intel. I'm a product manager at Intel. Yeah. Right. But photography is really my passion. I mean, it's the one thing I hope I can be remembered for when I go to heaven, rather than being working at some other jobs. Yeah. But anyway, so since 2002, I've been using the Leica M6 cameras. And then like what I already said, right, when digital came along and Leica didn't have a digital option, so I kind of went to other digital cameras. I didn't sell the M6 though at that time. Yeah, but then when the M8 came out, I was very tempted. Yeah, but I did get the M9 and then the rest, and I've been using digital M6. So this talk is as much about Hanoi and photography, and it's also a lot about using the M as a camera system, because that is really something that I really believe in. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I'm breaking up this sharing into a few sections. First of all, like what Ray said, my wife is Winnie. She's the one that really wanted to go to Hanoi. First of all, because she went before and she knew that I would like it. I didn't want to go because I wasn't that excited, like in the build-up to the trip, because to me, I'm more of a Japan person, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I did a lot of photo shoots to Japan, photography. So Japan is my passion, but when the idea of Hanoi came up, my wife really mentioned that there's a lot of street opportunities. Yeah. So when I landed in Hanoi, I got quite a big shock because it is not an organized place. At least not like Singapore, yeah, or Japan. So the first thing that struck me was the crazy traffic, where there seems to be no rules. How many of you have been to Hanoi before? Yeah, I think quite a few of you know how the city is like. Yeah, and she put a hotel in the old quarters. So Hanoi city is divided into old and the new section of the city. The new section is where Leica is. I also went there. Yeah, so every trip to a foreign country, I need to go to a Leica store just to see how they do it. But yeah, so we stayed in the old quarter, and most of the pictures will be in the old quarter, which is personally what I find the most interesting. So the first thing I tried to do was, when I was choosing the photos, I wanted to do a representative shot of the city. So I looked through my photos. It is very easy to take photos in Hanoi by just pointing your camera around you, because there's so much activity going on. You are bound to get something. But I wanted a moment in time. And so I looked very hard for such a representative shot, and I'm very happy with this one because it shows the old quarters. Actually, my hotel is somewhere on the left, so we're very near the hotel that we are staying. So I like the shot because it showed the old quarters, it showed the buildings, it shows the traffic, and more importantly, because of this guy, that he just happened to walk and then it kind of anchored the shot. So that's incomplete. To me, I felt it completes the composition. So it's very easy really to get photos in Hanoi, but I think the challenge is to find a representative picture that talks about the city. So the traffic, like I mentioned, is very bad, and there are a lot of chances where I could just walk up to the motorbikes. Okay, so there are hundreds and thousands of motorbikes in the streets, and there seems to be no rules to where they're going, even though the road could be. The traffic is supposed to be flowing this way, but you will see one bike like going the other way. And then the trick I learned crossing the road is that you just cross. The motorists will look out for you. You do not have to worry about them talking. In fact, the more you are scared and try to swerve them, the harder it is to cross the road. So I think after one day I learned to cross the road as it is. I just cross. The rule is just cross. And never look back. Don't step backwards, because you could be not by a motorbike. You just keep on walking straight. That's how you are smiling, because you know how it is. Just keep on walking straight, you reach the other side. Yeah, so I wanted to take faces of the people in Hanoi. So even though it was supposed to be a holiday trip, when I go to a city, I always try to do some kind of story out of it. Yeah, it's a passion. Yeah, and my wife will sometimes complain that, oh, you spend a lot of time taking photos instead of talking to me. Yeah, but yeah, okay. Those of you who travel with others, you know, yeah. So, and this trip is special because we actually left her, my little daughter, Katrina, we actually left her in Singapore for the first time for 7 days straight. So that was the first time since she was born that she didn't have a daddy and mommy with her before she sleeps. Yeah. So we actually left her, and then just two of us, we went for this trip. So I always try to do faces of the people, and this shot was taken using the M on the 35 1.4 and 1.4. So basically, yeah. So I'm saying that this shot is as much about the M system as well. So basically, what I did was I waited for something to happen. So I waited in front of this street for a few minutes, and whenever there's a motorist passing by and it looks interesting, I try to take photographs of them. So what I did was I pre-focused the distance to roughly where I want a bike to come. So for this composition, right, I wanted like a mid shot of somebody because by that time I had a lot of photos of passing traffic, and it just shows traffic. It doesn't really show something. I wanted faces, so I planned a mid shot somewhere. I mean, somewhat mid shot, and I just waited for something to happen. So when this couple came along and they looked like some movie stars, like some Chinese movie with a couple sitting on the motorbike. Yeah, so I moved on my camera and I got the photo. I'm very happy with this. So as you can see, right, even on the pavements, you can't escape the traffic. They are all over the place. This is worse than Singapore where you have PMDs. This one is new motorbikes running on the pavements. This is near another one of our hotels that we stayed in a few. We changed hotels twice in the city itself. Okay, so this is another shot of the motorist. So besides faces, right, I try to look for interesting situations because the bike culture is so different from what you see in Singapore that for the first 2 days, right, I was just shooting motorbikes, of the traffic, and I got very interesting things like the kids looking at me. I noticed that every time I shoot a motorbike with a kid, right, the parents would be focused on the road, but the kids would invariably see me, despite the fact that I try to be stealthy and all that. But the kids are the ones that will eventually spot me. And so I like this photo because these two kids, they were like looking at me and very curious. Okay, so on the streets, right, you have motorbikes stopping everywhere, and you have roadside stores and all that. So for me, right, the most interesting part of this experience in Hanoi is the fact that the motorbike is ubiquitous. It's like with a motorbike you can go anywhere. So much so that actually Winnie actually she loves bikes, so maybe that's why she wants to go on a bike. So we rented a bike actually, and at one point in the trip she rented a bike, and then we actually ride around the city just to experience the traffic. Okay, so more interesting shots of people on bikes. Okay, so motorbikes in Hanoi, right, is interesting because they are actually transportation tools. Okay, so you see here, right, I was just photographing this scene. I was like trying to place the scene with my 50 Subilux. I tried to have the background and everything. Really was something interesting happen. And out of the corner of my eye, right, I saw something white flash past. And is this guy, right, transporting what looks to be mattresses, or some kind of foam stuff on his bike. So over in Hanoi, right, they can really carry anything on their bikes. I've seen like potted plants. I've seen like furniture. So this guy is like, well, I mean, the fact that this foam bag, and they're actually dragging on the floor, you can see, right, and part of it is like dragging on maintenance to the mind. Yeah, so safety is not really a priority, yeah. But they're very efficient. I mean, with the bikes, right, you can really go everywhere. Yeah, so this guy is not holding, one hand holding this, I don't know what it is. And then with you see the mat and all that, right? But this is really a very common sight. For this shot, it was you can see it's really dark. So the M10-P really helped because I was used to the M240 and the M10 and the M10-P, the ISO is really much better. So I think this was, if I'm not mistaken, this is an ISO 6400. And I looked at the file and I was quite impressed that there's no bending, the noise is very minimal. So that is, I think, one of the major advantages of M10-P over the M240, which I also love, but the quality of the high ISO files are really much better. Yeah. So this shot was taken on a bike. If you see, right, the rear view mirror of the bike is actually below. So we, in the city itself, right, we also rented a Grab bike. So there are a lot of them, and so I took out my Grab app, right, and amazingly it works in Hanoi as well. And but you have to pay cash though for the bikes. There's no credit card option. So we rented a bike. So she took one and I took one, and I was quite scared, to be honest, because now I've seen how they ride, and it's quite crazy. And I'm not really I mean I cycle, but I don't ride motorbikes. But she does, so she's quite really okay with it. But for me, initially during the ride, I was quite nervous, so I was hanging on, like holding on the floor with my camera. Yeah. But after a few minutes, right, I got the hang of it, and then I realized that if I don't do anything on the bike, right, this will just be a trip. But I wanted photos. Of the experience. So I started taking out my camera. Okay. So what I did was on the bike, right, because you can't really, shoot the same way. So on the M10-P, what I did was I pre-focused my lens. So before I got the bike, I really decided that I'm not going to change lenses. So I put on my 35 Lumilux, which is my most used lens. Yes. I pre-focused the distance to 2 to 2.5 meters. Okay, set the exposure to manual. I always shoot manual mode, so that one is more or less standard. So I set to, can't remember the aperture, but I've set to a fast enough shutter speed so that I don't get blur. And then I just use one hand to take the photos. So this shot was interesting because we were moving through the traffic, and then out of the middle of nowhere, this lady in red, right, just strolled along the street. And my bike was like just, you can see it's very near. Yeah, and she looks very calm, and so that's how they cross the road. That's how they roll. Yeah. So I leaned to one side of the bike, right, trying not to unbalance the bike, and then I just quickly take a shot of it. This is also for the bike. It's a bit tilted because I wasn't able to hold the camera straight, but I kind of like the shot because it shows the bike. So here I'm traveling in tandem with them. Yeah, and I took the photo. I did adjust the aperture a bit just to stop down a bit. Yeah. So again, another example of no rules kind of travel. So you can see that on the same road, I believe the traffic is supposed to go this way, on this side of the road. Yeah, but this rider, right, yeah, from out of nowhere, she just came out like this. Okay, another one on the road. Okay. So you can see that as I was riding past them, right, I think a lot of the motorists were like thinking about these tourists. So modern tortoise, like never see traffic before. Because they were all staring at me when I was bringing out the camera. So it was quite a sight. But I really love the way that the traffic flows. That I have not seen a single accident, despite the fact that it's all over the place. But amazingly, miraculously, they do not need multiple traffic lights. They do not need a lot of guidance. But the traffic, regulates by itself. It's like a bloodstream, like where your blood flows, and then everything has its own way of moving. Okay, I didn't see this policeman directing traffic at this junction. So I was quite fascinated with Hanoi because it being a communist country, with this history and all that. I was expecting like very regimented. I guess I was expecting the kind of a North Korea style kind of country, but it's not. So it's very free, and I really enjoy it. Despite the fact that I know underneath all that, there's a lot of stories about the government and all that. But to me, the city feels free. People are free to do what they want. Anyway, this is besides the guards at the Ho Chi Minh mausoleum. This is the only man in uniform that I actually see on the streets. Yeah. This is my Red Rider. I thought I should take a photo of him, but I took it after. And he was like, he's probably checking whether I paid the money or trying entering the app. Yeah. So this is the kind of business that you can do if you are riding motorbike. You can be a Grab rider there, and they were all okay. The way I see it, right, they are all very very professional. When I got onto the bike, right, even though he came on the wrong side of traffic to pick me, which was my first surprise, right, he actually offered me a helmet and insisted I put on the helmet. Even though I tried to like, because I didn't want it to interfere with the camera. Okay, so but he insisted I put on the bike, and then he made sure that I'm comfortable. So they are really quite professional. Yeah. Okay, this shot is a pre-focus shot. So I saw this father and daughter on the bike, and I want to take a photo of them. So with the M, I pre-focus the distance at 1.4, and one of the techniques is that I see the subject and I pre-focus the distance, but I may pre-focus to 2 meters, for example, but I'm not at 2 meters. So I will walk towards them until I reach the roughly the 2 meter mark. Okay, and hopefully at that point in time, there's a moment, and then I just hit the shutter. And again, this shot is a pretty high ISO, it's 15 times. So again, the M system allows me to work in this way that is more free up as opposed to using autofocus, and you try to aim your focus points at the subject. But the M system really allows me to be more free on the streets. I shoot at fixed focuses, I pre-focus a lot. And then if I have time, right, when I lift up the camera, I will fine tune the focus. But in this case, I didn't have the time. So all I did was just take the shot. And again, the high ISO capabilities of M10-P really helped in this case a lot. So we're going to move on to something. Okay, so after I got over the initial surprise or cultural shock of the bright street.
This was your first visit to?
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I also give you a bit more background. This is my first visit to the city. Before I went, because I told you, right, I wasn't too excited. So I know there was a holiday coming up. I'm more excited by the idea of a break rather than the place. I mean, if it's Japan, I would be all excited, all fired up. But until the day itself, I wasn't too sure whether I would like the city. But the moment I land, and it's my first time there, I was quite captivated. I guess I'm captivated in the sense that it is photography. If you talk about photography, it's a very rich place. It's like everywhere you turn, there is a subject. Yeah, but it could be part of the new city experience, I guess. Yeah, but the way I see it, this is a place that I want to go back to. More for the street photo opportunities, because I'm more of a city boy. My wife is more of a country person, so she likes to go climb mountains and everything like that, which will drag me along. But when it comes to cities, I'm the one that's more comfortable in the confines of the city. So as I started to get into the groove, to enjoy the holiday, I started to see more things on the streets. Right, and really this is the meat of this presentation. As I go through the city, I try to compose photos in a way, like I said, to talk about the place, right? So here we have the motorbikes, we have this like a taxi, okay, and we have the building. So this is the old quarters. I really love the old quarters because it really has you can feel the culture and the history in that part of the city, as opposed to the new French quarters, the newer section, right? In the old quarters, this is where people live their life on the streets. Yeah, and so this is the title of this section, Life on the Streets. People are not, there seems to be no concept of privacy in the sense that they really eat on the streets, live on the streets, they walk on the streets. This is one of my favorite shots. This little girl was playing around. Okay, so Hanoi is there's a lot of traffic, right? So normally you wouldn't see something like this. But this day was Sunday. It's car-free day. So in the middle of, near the old quarter, there's this lake, which I can't pronounce. There's this very big lake. It's a major tourist attraction. It's also the area where every Sunday, right, they will close off all the streets, and then people just spill on the roads and live their life on the streets. So if I go back, I will make sure that I will have as many Sundays as possible in Hanoi. Yeah, because this is where people really express themselves. And this little girl was playing along. Actually, the mother, right, is off the screen. The mother is sitting beside there, selling food. And because she accompanies the mother, so she's just hanging around the streets and playing. So I saw her, but I didn't really photograph her because there's nothing much interesting. And then suddenly she put the bag over her head, right, and crossed the road. And then that's when I ran over. I saw her putting on the bag. before she crossed the road, and I ran over to that cross junction, and just so happens that she crossed the road, and then this is where I took the shot. So again, this is at 1.4. So you see that I really love the M because even though it's manual focus, and even though sometimes I don't get the focus 100% right, I don't think it matters because what matters in the photo is not really that you get exact pinch-up focus. Sometimes it's the mood, sometimes it's the composition. Yeah, and I wouldn't say this is 100% pinch-up, but at 1.4, the depth of field is still pretty thin for 35mm lens. But it is enough to catch up crossing the street. It's enough to give the mood of the shot. So I walk along I shoot a lot at night, partly because of the abilities of the M10-P, right, the high ISO, and also the zooming up lens that I really love. So I shoot a lot at night, and as I walk along the streets, you can see interesting things like this. This guy was dancing in the top. They were literally dancing for a few minutes, and I saw from the distance, and I quickly make sure that my path intersects. I was with my wife, so I said, okay, let's turn this way. So we walked towards the place, and then just I was hoping that they would still be dancing when I reached. Yeah, so they are, and so I took the shot. It was quite funny.
Is that one of the Leica stores?
Sorry?
One of the Leica stores?
No. This Leica store, right? This is not the official. This is one of those many camera shops with the logo. Yeah. The official Leica store. Oh, I don't have a picture of. Actually, I put it inside. Yeah. The official Leica store is actually at the intersection of the old quarters and the French quarter. What they call the new section. So the city is very visibly divided. So in the old quarters, right, you see the motorbike. You see motorbikes everywhere. But in the old quarters, the buildings are older, small shop houses. Yeah, it's like the difference between moving from Little India or parts of Chinatown to a place like the CBD. So the French quarter is a little bit more like the CBD, a little bit more like Orchard Road with more bikes. Yeah, but this is one of the camera shops there. Okay, if you recognize this place, right, this is the same place where I took the bike with the mattress. Yeah. So this is the shot I was taking before that guy with the mattress came along. This guy was just running down the road. I have no idea what he's doing or what he's running away from. But I saw him, so I focused on him and I took a few shots, just enough to catch. So for action sequences like this, I will take a few shots just to make sure that I get something. So this one shot happens to have him have his feet off the ground, and he was just running down the street. I have no idea why he needs to do that. Yeah. So I like to call this shot Running Man. Caption. Running Man of Hanoi.
Was it also quite cold that time?
It was okay. When I went, right, I was told that it's going to be cold or it's going to be chilly. It is, but it's not as cold as I think. So I think the weather is about 18 degrees. Yeah. It was Feb. So it kind of still the winter season. Yeah. But to me it's fine, it's comfortable. Yeah. And at night of course it's colder, but in the day there were days when I just went out with just a t-shirt and just a jacket. So yeah. Don't really need it. So it's a comfortable. I guess it helps a lot. Though if you photograph in Singapore, it's very hot, and then sometimes after an hour you will feel very sticky, and it kind of kills the mood. Yeah, but in Hanoi you can really walk for hours, and that's what we did. Me and my wife. We walk and we explore the city, and she also photographs, so she has a camera, so she was also trying to take some shots. But mainly I'm the one doing the photography. But it's pleasant. The weather is pleasant, so it allows you to really explore without getting tired. Okay, this is a family I want to talk about. This family, is one of the many examples that eats out of the streets. So they have a shop behind, and I think they live in the shop also. And this is out of the street, so they were just eating their dinner. And because when we walk back to the hotel, right, we will pass by this street every day, and every day I see them. So I didn't realize that I was thinking the same family actually. So the first day I took a few photos of them, and then I think the third or fourth day I took photos of them again. And then when I went back I realized, hey, it's the same family. So the next day I looked out for them. So this shot I was using my 35mm lens. So I knelt down beside them, took a photo of them, laying out their dinner and all that, and they didn't seem to mind. So in Hanoi, in the old quarters, it's a bit like Japan. Japan, they don't really mind you, they don't really talk to you. Maybe they're too polite. But I was expecting a bit more hostile relations in Hanoi, but basically there isn't. Yeah, so they're very open. So I mean, I couldn't talk to them. If I could, I would probably make small talk with them. But I don't speak the language. So what happens after this shot, right? Is that I wanted a closer up. I wanted to be sitting here, ideally. Yeah, of course I didn't do that. Yeah, but I wanted to be very much sitting down and taking a shot. So what I did was, I refocused my lens and I walked around to where this, I think it's the grandmother is, right? Oh, sorry. Before that, I did take a photo of one of the other family members in the shop house. This guy. And he was playing with the dog. Yeah, so this guy is in the same is from the same family as the one sitting around the table. And then after that, right, after they are comfortable with me, I pre-focus my lens and I walk over to where the grandmother is, and I took one shot of her, just with a cigarette. So she looked quite badass with a cigarette, trying to make her kids eat. Yeah, so the M system allows me to do that. So this is why I don't really like the M system. You can't really, I mean, you could do this with the autofocus camera, just that you won't know where your autofocus point lens, that is. But here I'm very sure that of my distances. Once I'm used to it, you go close, and in fact this shot was not shot from eye level. It was actually shot from my hip. Shooting from the hip. So I think I took 2 shots before. I didn't want to hang around too much, you could get suspicious. So I took 2 shots and then I just walked away. Yeah. I actually prefer this over the one with the big family. Okay, so examples of adults living on the streets, right? So you have kids also playing on the streets. They are very carefree. And there were a lot of dogs. Yeah.
Hanoi loves dogs.
Yeah, Hanoi loves dogs. Yes. There's a lot of people with pets. Yeah. This is more in the French Quarter. There is a statue of Lenin. So again, it's a communist country, right? So they do have a lot of symbols of the communist country. So I wanted some photos, showing the aspect. So we took a walk along the French Quarter, and at first I was just taking photos of the statue, right, as any tourist would. First time in the city. But the light was really quite bad, as you can see from the sky. Right? So I wasn't quite pleased with the photo. So I did take, as like a tourist, but it's not something that I will display. So I walked around the place and I noticed that this guy was taking photos of the kids. So I waited for this guy with the dog, right, to cross. I actually saw them out of the viewfinder. The frame line to the end, right? So I actually saw that there's something that was working. So I waited for them to cross and then I took the photo. So I thought it makes the photo a bit more complete, as opposed to just a shot of the statue and the kid. So on Cafe Day, right, I saw 2 interesting things. One is people actually walk the cats. Yeah. I have no idea how maybe the cats are different there, but I don't think Singapore cats want you to walk them. Yeah. So they actually walk their cats, they have their little pet carriers, and then they all like gather around and when they display their pets, people actually come and interact with it. I think it's part of the culture to share their experiences of pets. Okay, not just cats. Okay, the next photo may surprise you. They actually also walk their rabbits. Okay, I have no idea you can walk rabbits, but I don't know. Okay, so I think this is on Cafe Day, and so that's why I say that I would like to have as many Sundays as possible on Cafe Day, because that's where you see all the interesting things. So they were not the only group, but this is the group that I walked closer to, and I know they were like appreciating the bunnies, the rabbits, and I thought it was quite interesting, that you can actually walk rabbits.
But no incidents with dogs and rabbits either?
No. Oh no, they were barking incidents, but they don't come close to each other. Okay, so Hanoi, the old quarters, there are a lot of the place is, as I was photographing the city, right, I didn't want it to be so, I didn't want to be a cliche, to always show the city in a rundown state. But the fact is, the old quarters is pretty rundown. But yet, right, I like the place because it's very vibrant. People actually talk to one another. There are very few people on their phones. There are, but much less than Singapore. Only the tourists will look at their phones. I don't depend on my phone a lot for one simple reason, because the streets are so narrow and it's all over the place. I actually try to use Google Maps to navigate my way around. But Google Maps is only used for finding the hotel and finding places to eat. But when I'm photographing out, I'll just go with the flow. Yeah, so you see stores like this displaying their wares out on the streets. You see hawkers carrying their wares. You also see people by the roadside fixing things for sale. This shop, right, I took a photo because I was attracted to the star, the symbol of Hanoi, but this shop was actually along a railway track. You see the stones here? The railway track is just here. The funny thing is that I didn't realize the railway track was live. Because in the day when I went, again you see, I go there without much research, right? So I saw this railway track through Hanoi, and I saw a lot of people on the tracks taking photos and selfies and all that. And I had no idea it's live. So of course, I followed them, and then we were on the tracks, and then there were a lot of shops along the track. I only realized later that the track is live, right? When near the evening time, I saw from a distance, right, a train going past the track. That's when I realized, whoa, that's a live track. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I skipped a few. Yeah. So these are shops along the track. They have cafes, very nice cafes. If I had more time, I would really sit by the cafe and watch the trains go by. Behind her is this cafe. You can see the prices. And they will just sit out on stools along the track, drinking the coffee, enjoying the day, the cool weather. And then you also have guys like this. I think he stays near the track. It's very interesting. Yeah, and they were just chatting about. I think they were chatting about the prices of the market. Because he was like holding up the food and then he was talking about it. So I think they were talking about what they buy. So this shot is also a pre-focus shot. Yeah, I did go through the viewfinder, but I tried to get as close to the distance as possible before I took the photo. So Ray said that I use the 35 and the 50 a lot, which is true. Actually, I also have a Embark 28, which I use for sound. I think this shot is with the Embark 28, which is wider, but it allows me to go. So I had to go a bit closer to them. Yeah.
Can you explain to us about videos?
Okay. So basically, if I use the shot as an example, the 28mm lens is best focused at 2 meters. Because if you look at the focusing scale, later if you play the lenses, right, you'll see that there's a depth of field scale. So there are points on the scale where it will tell you that from this distance to that distance, everything will be more or less reasonable focus. So I typically focus to 2 meters because I do have a fixed habit now of taking a photo at this exact distance. So even before I lift up my camera, right, the lens is already set to more or less that distance. So I just need to make micro adjustments to the lens. And one of the ways, sometimes when you shoot with M lenses and then when the guy moves, right, and then you try to compose, right. So one trick I learned is that you fix the distance, let's say 1.5 meters. Example. Instead of you trying to rock that focusing ring, you rock your body back and forth. You get so maybe you follow the movement of the person. It actually works quite a lot. So you don't have to keep turning that ring and trying to align the rangefinder. And one of the most valuable tricks I learned about end focusing is something that I learned many years ago from a book called I can't remember the book, but anyway, it was quite a famous book about Leica M, written by a German professor. In the book, right, he says that when you turn the focusing ring, you are always turning left and right, trying to align. So rather than doing that, you always set your lens to infinity. So that when you focus, right, you only pull in one direction. Rather than trying to figure, should I turn left or right? Of course, over time you can turn left or right once you are used to it. But even for me, right, I take a shot and I set the focusing ring all the way to the right, that means it's focused at infinity. And so when I start to focus, right, I only pull in one direction. So there is no confusion as to should I turn left or right. It's always down here. So the patch will always, align when I move in one direction. And after I take the shot, if I have time, I will move the link back so that the next shot can be starting with the same position again. So this is one of the most valuable tricks I learned. Another valuable trick I learned with the same book is that for 35mm lens, if you are focused at 2 meters, let's say my distance for him is 1.5 meters. The frame, right? The final frame will be twice of that distance. So this is 1.5. So on his left there will be 1.5 allowance. On his right there will be 1.5 meter allowance. Yeah, for 35, only for 35mm lens. I don't know about the other lenses, but the book specifically says for 35mm lenses. So knowing that, right, if I know that I'm 1.5 meters away from him, I know that if it's the dead center of the frame, there will be the 1.5 meter allowance around him. So I can kind of pre-visualize the scene. Yeah, even before you lift up your camera. So 35mm is easy to use, but recently I've been shooting a lot of the 28 and the 50 as well. The 28 has a lot more depth of field, so it's harder to know. It's a lot easier to get everything in focus, especially when you stop down a bit. So the 28 has a different feel. A lot of people say that the 28 and 35 is similar. I don't really think so, because the 28, right, allows me to do a lot of travel shots. When you have the lens wide, right, like your typical showing shot, the buildings, the line, whatever. So it allows that, but at the same time, it also allows a lot of street photo opportunities. Just like you're going to move a lot closer. Yeah. And the embark that I have is the 28mm embark 2.8 spherical. So it's a very tiny lens, one of the smallest in the whole Leica setup. So when you put on the M10-P, right, the whole thing is very light. So it's kind of like a cube, because I don't have the cube. Yeah. It's something that I repeat that also. But I don't have a cube, but it kind of acts like a cube. In the sense that the whole setup is just one simple 28mm lens with the M. Then the 50mm is a bit harder to use. I did use it, as you can see the running man shot and that mattress dragging motorbike. But that lens would be, on the streets I found that I do need to stop down a little bit more so that I can get a lot more in focus. It's hard to shoot that lens at 1.4 on the streets. Yeah. And anyway, you probably don't want to shoot at 1.4 on the streets for the 50mm because the depth of field is just very shallow. Unless I'm taking photos of my wife or my kid playing on the streets. Normally I want a bit more depth so that I can see what's around on the streets. Yeah. So I hope, especially the trick about turning in one direction, I think that really helps a lot. That will spare your focus efficiency. So you don't have to keep on left and right, left and right. It's on the railway tracks, along the railway tracks. So this lady was cooking out on the tracks, cooking out on the streets. One of the way is I found of disarming people is really to smile at them. You smile a lot, and then you point to your camera and say, "Can I take a photo?" And most times, right, they will allow. Sometimes I don't ask. I mean, if I know that by asking, I will disturb the moment I will ask. But if I know that, like for example, this, right, it's just cooking. She's cooking, right? So I did ask politely, can I point to the camera? Can I take a photo? She said okay. So I proceed to do a few shots. So this is not the one photo. She was moving here and moving here. So I stayed around because I was given permission so far not to take. Yeah. So I took that chance and I stayed around her a bit more just to get a photo that I like. Okay, this is the photo. This is the 28, and this is the pre-focus shot again. This part of the town, right? They were a bit more conscious already. So it's a bit nearer to the new quarter. So they don't really want photos, or rather they don't give the feel that they don't feel as friendly. So I didn't want to intrude that on them too much. Yeah, so what I did was I pre-focused my lens and I took the shot, but I did buy something for her though after that. Yeah, I think I bought some fruits to eat. Okay, you come down. Okay. By the way, I learned a trick while photographing while carrying her also. Same thing, you use the pre-focus, you shoot the lens, align the lens at the pre-focus distance, right? And very often I found that I can use one hand just to hold the lens. I do not have the, what's that called? That thing that helps you to hold the lever,
Grip.
yeah, I don't have the grip, neither do I have that, the one that you fit on the hot shoe so that it helps you to hold the camera. What's it called? The thumbs up, yes, yeah. But I do find that I can hold the M10 very comfortably without any of these aids. Anyway, I don't like to put things on the camera to make it bulky, so I want to keep it small. So the M10 is slim enough to hold it in that way. So it feels very much like my M6, which is one of the things that I like about the M10. Okay, so along the way, I saw interesting things like this mother and daughter, right? Now she's looking at the phone and she's allowing her daughter to actually enjoy whatever is on the screen. So even in Hanoi, they do have mobile phones, they do have 3D connection. Actually, the internet is pretty fast. Yeah, it's pretty fast. For a place like the old quarters, right? One of the great things is that the internet is fast. I'm not sure whether it's expensive, but yeah, it's very fast.
Cheap.
It's cheap, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this scene reminds me, I was thinking, wow, is she having PSL or something? Yeah. So she was teaching her daughter, she was like tutoring her daughter, and so I took a shot with I didn't want just the two of them because it wouldn't show any context. So normally for travel photos, I want to show a bit more context. I want to show that they are in a shop. She is the owner of the shop selling this stuff, and she's teaching her daughter, she's tutoring her daughter. So I framed it in a way that I wanted to include as much of the shop as possible. So because we didn't bring my daughter along, so we kind of miss her. Actually during the trip we do miss her because it's the first time that we have been away from her for so long. So when I see this display, right, I thought of her. So I took a shot of this from smaller to from short to tall. So I thought it was a quite interesting display. This family is very friendly. The mother was like, beckoning to me, you can take my phone. Because I didn't want to intrude, but they were so open that I took the chance. So she was playing with her daughter and they were just cooking out on the streets. And I believe she's selling selling food along the street. So again in Hanoi, if you are friendly and you smile a lot, you can really there are really a lot of chances to take photos of people. This lady was holding the big carpet and she was arguing with the potential customers about the price. Yeah, I can, even though I don't understand language, but they were talking about I know that they were talking about prices, and she was getting a bit fed up. She was getting a bit edgy. So that's where I took the shot. This lady was again in her shop, and again this shot was with the 50 lux. So you can see that I open up the aperture, so the background is a bit blurry, but just enough for you to see that she's in this shop selling clothes and she's making the clothes on the sewing machine. This shop, right, is actually near the street where I took photograph of the running man and the mattress. So the way I do street vlogging is when I enter an area I like and I feel the vibe of the area and I like the area, I would normally look for things around the areas. And you can find a lot of stuff happening within that perimeter. And then only after I've exhausted all the possibilities, I will move on to another place. So depending on how you travel, if you are traveling with family, of course it's not always possible to have the luxury of time to stay around one place. And I fully understand that because now that I have a daughter, right, I fully understand the commitments. But how I get around this, right, is that for street photography, I always have my camera with me. What I mean is, I don't have a bag. I carry a camera bag, but I don't put the camera in my bag. It is for my trip, right? My M10 is always hanging on my shoulder. Yeah, I call it camera wearing. Like baby wearing. You wear your camera because of the limited time that I have, right, with family and all that, right. Every time I see something, the camera is always there. I don't have to take it out from my bag, open the lens cap and everything. In fact, the camera is at my side with the lens cap off. Always in the position to shoot, and even when I'm not shooting, right, I'll be adjusting the aperture and the exposure manually. Just in case something happens. Yeah. So I found that by doing that, right, like when I send my daughter to school every day, I hang the camera also. Because the morning light is so good in Singapore and that. So I always be ready for any opportunity. That's one of the ways I maximize time for photography. And even when I travel, even with my wife, even though it's just the two of us, but of course, She doesn't like it if I like focus too much on trying to take photos and then making it my own, like being my own world. Yeah, so I try to strike that balance between family commitments as well as my photography. Of course, if you're traveling alone, right, then you can do anything you want. Yeah, like when I go to Japan in the past, I will photograph from day to night, and I will actually forget to eat lunch until I really feel hungry. Then I realize, oh, I haven't had lunch. Yeah, because the whole day you are just out on the streets. Okay, I love this shop because this store, is where we have our favorite noodles. So every night, right, even though we have dinner already, we will still go there and buy at supper. Yeah. So, and frankly speaking, right, by Singapore standards, this is a very unhygienic shop. It's all out in open, the motorists, you have all the pollution of the cars and all that. Right? So, but when I see this family, they were all like really enjoying the food. So this is really how they roll, and I really love again, like I said, right, I would like to sit there. I really interact with them. So this shot, for me, it solidifies life in Hanoi on the streets. That they really live their lives out. They really eat out in the open, and they really like to sit on these low stools. Instead of like normal tables, they really love the idea of sitting by the streets. Another shot that is pretty focused is this mother again, trying to feed her daughter. So they were out of their house. What I did was I pretend that I want to do at the signs, because when I walked towards there, the mother was looking at me in a suspicious way. So I didn't want to disturb them. So I just looked around the house, and then so when they go about the activities, right, my lens was pretty focused. So I took a shot again without showing through the viewfinder. Yeah. So they didn't know that. So it's a very natural way that I take photos. Sometimes I just don't look through the viewfinder, pre-focus the lens, and get the photo that I want. Actually, right, to be honest, I found that I have a habit of not lowering myself down. So when I tilt the camera, right, it's very visible for the photo. So I retracted some of my photos because I thought that it looks too top down. Yeah. This shot was actually quite level, precisely because I don't have a camera. I didn't have a camera at eye level. It was somewhere around my waist. But then, but in this case, if I were to kneel down, then it will be too obvious. Yeah. So I do find that shooting from my waist is a very good way of adding variety to the shot. So this shot is not a top-down shot. Okay, this shot was in between the new and the old section. We were walking from the old to the new, and then I saw this man cooking out on the streets. So again, I'm very fascinated by the way they can do things like this. Eat on the streets, live on the streets. Like there's actually an indoor section, but why do they choose to eat out on the streets, cook on the streets? I guess it's their culture, it's the way of interacting. It's probably a habit that is formed for many years. Yeah. So in our modern day society, in our HDB blocks, in our own houses, we live very confined lives. We don't really interact. But what impresses me about the city is that they are really very open. Okay, this shot, this place was actually completely dark. There were no street lamps. I could see, but it was very dark. And I looked at my camera, right, and I thought, okay, I'm only at M10 now, instead of my M240. So I cranked out the ISO to 6004, and I put the lens at 1.4, and I put the shutter speed to a very low shutter speed, about 1/30. So you can imagine how dark that place was. And I proceed to take photos of this barber, right, cutting hair for this pair of tourists out into the open streets. Yeah. So as you can see, right, from the quality of the photo, there's very little noise. The exposure was right, and so that I say that that's the main difference between the M10-P and my M240. There were two concerns in moving from the M240 to the M10-P for me. The number one concern is the battery life. The number two concern, right, is the image quality of course. Whether how different it is, because I'm so used to the M240 look. In fact, when I transited from the M9 to the M240, right, I had to adjust because there are some differences in the sensor. So you probably heard about all the talk about the M9 look, right? That there's a special quality to it. There kind of is, I feel. Yeah, but anyway, I had to get used to that look. So one of my big concern is how different would the quality of the image be different from the M240. And what I found two pleasant surprises that first of all, the battery life, right? The battery, yes, it is smaller, the capacity is smaller, so it doesn't last as long. But I'm still able to squeeze out 500 or more shots for one single battery. which most of the time in the day, right, is more than enough for a single day of shooting. Though I did carry a spare battery, so I was expecting like the M9 type of battery level where maybe 300 is nice, but I was able to stretch to 500 plus. Yeah, of course I don't use the live view, so I think if you use live view, the battery level will fall a bit faster. So for me, I don't use the live view. I very rarely use the live view, so it's optical rangefinder most of the time, and I find I can stretch the battery life to about 500 shots. So that the number one concern was gone. The number two concern is the quality of the file. So after this shot, I was quite happy that at high ISO the files are fine. They don't break. The quality is just it's just great. Yeah. So it's a great match for my lenses. Okay, very quickly, right? I want to move on to a short story. Okay, so I said that I will try to tell stories of tell little stories in my travels. So this is one story that I stumbled upon. So I treated it like a mini documentary thing that I do, which I like to do, telling stories with pictures. So Hanoi is a soccer crazy country, right? When I went there, when I landed, on the night that I landed, right, they were participating in the Asian Federation Cup, AFC, and they were playing against Iran. Okay? So when I landed, right, I noticed that people were watching soccer on the streets. So and then there were bright symbols of Hanoi displayed all over. This was at a bar there. I noticed people downstairs, watching soccer. So I came down, take a look, and noticed that they were all gathering around the TV screens. Okay, so to me at first I thought, oh okay, that's watching soccer, it's a normal day. And then I realized there were more and more people glued to their TVs. That's when I realized Vietnam was actually involved in some kind of the national team. Was actually involved in some kind of competition, and they were. Later I went to Google. The time I checked, what is happening? I realized that Vietnam was playing the quarterfinals of the AFC. So I realized that even in the restaurant, even the restaurant staff, instead of serving us, right, they were all glued to their mobile phones. This girl was streaming the game itself, and of course when Vietnam scored, right, there was pandemonium all over the streets. People were hoarding and so this I believe this was the winning goal. I think they won. I think was it 1-0 or 2-1. I can't remember the exact score line. So I was photographing them, right, and they were like there was no much reaction. So but the moment they scored, right, wow, they all became wow. So this is one of my favorite shots because there's really a lot of expressions all over the picture. They were really very passionate about the national team. And this guy started to unfurl his flag and started to wave around. And so I was very happy to be right in the middle of it. And as I walked the streets after the game, when they won and qualified for the quarterfinals, even the taxis, they were lifting up the flag. So it's to me, right, I mean, this is a far cry from the national team in Singapore, I have to say, people there are really fervent, whether you are male or female, they really support their national team. Of course, I'm a soccer fan as well, but I do watch more English soccer compared to local. Yeah, but over there, right, the nationalistic fervor is very high. They were all wrapping flags. So even this little girl on the motorbike was wrapping a flag as a sign of victory. People were holding flags out on the streets and chanting and making a lot of noise. So this group of people, I walked up to them, and then because they were jubilant, they were victorious, so they allowed me to take photos. So that's one of the good thing about them. Later you will see some photos of them moving, and then the mood is very different. So I proceed to observe the soccer culture, and I realized that the culture is very prevalent. Even as kids, right? You see, they were playing football on the streets in this like compound, right? And I actually stood there and watched. Actually, I wanted to very much enjoy that because I do like soccer as well. Yeah, but anyway, I focus on photographing there. This is the second game that I photographed. Here the first game they were playing Japan, so they won. This game they were playing Iran, so I got my effects. So this game, right, at first, they were, I think they were leading. So you see, right, as the game progressed, right, they were all very jubilant, they were punching their face in the air. These two guys, right, is my main subject, because they were very expressive. And more importantly, they don't seem to mind me taking photos of them. Yeah, so I stood in front of them a lot, trying to catch expressions. So they were very jubilant, they were cheering, they were shouting. See, they were wearing the symbol, so they were all very fired up for the game. This was with the 50 lux. I wanted to isolate him, so I changed my lenses to the 50mm and I isolate the guy out of the crowd. So when I shoot, right, I carry a small bag. Sometimes I carry a big bag with my lenses. So one of the good things about Hanoi, right, is that because it's cold, right, I mean at night, so I have to wear my jacket, and my jacket has big pockets. So what I do, right, is that I put my small lenses, I mean they're all small, in the jacket pockets, and then steal the camera, and that's it. No, that's my bag, my bag is the jacket. That's one of the major advantages I find working in the countries. No, you don't need a camera bag, just put your lenses in the jacket. You can only do that with M lenses. So can't say that for other camera systems. So I was able to change lenses very fast. And this is the major, they call it the beer street or alcohol street, yeah. I don't remember the name, I know the location. If I'm there now, I can walk there. It's the street where people drink, you know, they come up for a drink. It's like our Clarke Quay, but more boisterous, a more lively Clarke Quay, where people are drinking and watching soccer. And so this whole street, right, you're all watching the game. And even when the game is going on, there are people doing businesses around the place. So I also photograph what's happening around the place. So these two they were trading. He was buying something from the lady. And you can see that even at non-beer places, you know, the normal shops, everybody was stopping whatever they were doing, focusing on the game. Because this is the game where they will qualify, I believe, for the semi-finals. If they won, if they win. Which, by the way, they didn't. So these are some shots of the, I tried to isolate some of the more interesting people watching the game. Vendors on the street selling balloons. Again, this was with the 35mm wide open. I wanted to isolate the balloons out from that crowd. And as the game wore on, you can see the expressions change. They're not so jubilant anymore, not so happy, because they were losing. So it's a very tense moment here. You can see this couple was like, wow, they were very, very tense. Yeah. And really, you can feel the mood. No, it's not really going right. Yeah. So I became a bit more careful with the photograph. Not so intrusive. Yeah. And then after that loss, right, we started to drink. Yeah. So again, like I said, these two guys, they were very expensive. So they were drinking and yelling and cheering. But of course, when Vietnam lost, well, it's back to the drinks. And then some of them, they were taking selfies and just enjoying the moment. So maybe they're not real soccer fans, they're just there to soak in the atmosphere. This is with the 50 lux as well. So you see that really everybody is glued to their TVs that night. So I photographed soccer on 3 nights. 3 nights. Yeah. The first night when I landed and I didn't know anything, and then I realized that they were very fervent. This one was a planned one because I actually checked the schedule for the games, and I realized that on that day, that night, there will be a game, and then so I went to that soccer street. So then my wife wanted to go foot massage, which is perfect because then she'll be doing a foot massage, and then I can roam around the place. Yeah. So after the game, they lost, but everybody is still very nationalistic. So I saw this guy just wheeling his bike along with a flag. So I thought it was quite a good reflection of the night, where they didn't win, but they still love the country. They still love the country. Anyway, right, I recently checked I checked the game again, right. Vietnam is actually doing very well for the Olympics qualification. So maybe next year's Olympics in Tokyo, right, it might be one of the participating countries. Okay, this is a very quick section a bit out of Hanoi. So I do recommend that if you visit Hanoi, don't just stay in the city. You go to this place called Halong Bay, which is a UNESCO heritage site, where there are a lot of limestone caves and out in the sea. There is actually quite a sight to behold. This scene reminds me of something like like what you see maybe in the nuclear area where everybody has visited the host, and then just leaving the structures like a post-apocalyptic scene. So these are the little limestone islands that make up Halong Bay and Cat Ba Islands. This was shot from Cat Ba Island. So I thought it's a very surreal scene. The next one is also very surreal. It's taken in the stuffed animal shop. Taxidermy shop, where there was nobody in the place, and it was just these animals in that room. So I shot through the window with the M, and I thought it looks quite creepy, right? I was expecting to spring to life anytime in that very quiet museum. So on the Cat Ba Island itself, I visited this. Hanoi is famous for their fish sauce, which gives you a particular taste in their food. So this is the place where they were making the sauces. These are the big drums where they actually put the sauce after it's made. It's like a factory. And then here she was packing up the sauces in the boxes, and this lady is sorting out the sauces. So you see the different prices of the fish sauce, right? So the more concentrated it is, the more expensive it is. Yeah, so she was like sorting them out according to their concentration levels. And Cat Ba Island, right, I also recommend you visit this very, very interesting communist field hospital that is built in the cave. Yeah. So they have all these limestone caves, which some of them is very cavernous inside, it's very big. So they actually turned it into a field hospital during the Vietnam War. Even though this particular hospital, I was told, right, wasn't that well used. By then, right, the war was nearly over. The North was winning already. So, but because this is the north of Vietnam, so the action is actually happening really more to the south, where the Americans are. So this hospital is not that well used, but still, right, it was made, it was constructed, and I was able to tour the place. So you see that they actually constructed the hospital inside the cave, and inside the cave, right, they built all these rooms, where they hold meetings and talk about strategy. So this is one such rooms inside the cave. So this is the interior of the main hospital cave. So you see that it's really very high, very big. They actually placed lights all over the place, and then they constructed all the paths, the cement paths, where they can push the stretchers and all that. So again, this shot is ISO 6400. I think it was 8000. I can't remember that, but I remember it's a very high number because I couldn't use my 35mm 1.4 because it's not wide enough. So I had to pull out the 28. But because my 28 is a 2.8 lens, so because of that, right, I had to shut the shutter speed to a very low shutter speed, 1/8, and really hold steady. But the M10-P is very quiet. The shutter, you can feel it, which is important for me because I can't stand the newer cameras where they use the electronic shutter, right? And there's no feel. So I need to feel the shutter going off. But the M10 shutter is very soft, and the vibration, there's not a lot of vibration, but you can still feel it. So the camera shake is very minimal at 1/8. So I set it to ISO 8000, or was it 10,000, I can't remember. 2.8, 2.8, yeah, 2.8.
You can check it in your Leica tag.
Yeah. I will be checking it in the beta tag. Though aperture I'm quite certain is 2.8, and then I brace myself, hold the camera tight, and then I check the shot, and then it turned out quite well. So I really love the cave. It's quite amazing to be inside the cave where, knowing that in the past this was a hospital where people died, people get wounded, people were treated, very surreal. So, but by the time we went there, right, all the boats were either not operating or booked out already. So then we managed to find this guy, this captain, and he said that, well, I have a boat free, you want to get a ticket. So even though we paid the normal price, more or less the normal price, we had the whole boat to ourselves. So I just took this photo just to remind me that we had, for one day at least, we had the whole tour boat to ourselves. So we were on the upper deck, relaxing on that during the trip. Okay, but the point of the boat, right, was really to go out to Halong Bay itself, where all the limestone caves are. And this is where we found some of these caves. So we went inside one of them, and really it's a very beautiful place, in the cave. And again, high ISO helps a lot. We do touristy shots like this. So I'm going to just quickly skip through go through all the. These were all shot with the 28mm. Yeah, no, 35 not wide enough. The 35 is good for street, but I have to say that when you travel and you want to be a tourist, the 28 does work better. Yeah, which is why I always carry the small 28 along. Yeah. This structure, right? This cave, right? They call it the Dragon's Tomb, I believe. This is actually on the Vietnamese denomination. So when we were pushing this, right, the boatman, rushed up from the cabin, right, came to us. So I was surprised, what is happening? Is the boat sinking or what? So he very excitedly ran over to us, pulled out a 20,000 dong note, right, and showed us, see, the same thing. So this is like a famous landmark in Hanoi. So you can see from the sky, right, actually the whole of our trip, the weather wasn't that good. There was no great light that I was looking for, but I still made the best of it. So just on the day when we are leaving, there was a little bit of sunset. Yeah, which I tried to maximize. Still not best, still not perfect though. Which means that I need to go back again. Okay, so actually that's all for the Vietnam section. I just want to show you Ray, do you have 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. No, I just want to show you how I use the M as an everyday system because again, like I say, one of the, for me, besides the Vietnam, I want to talk about shooting the M system as a whole because this is the system that I really like compared to, I do have other cameras, compact and all that, but I sometimes even shoot my mobile phone, but really anything that is of value to me, right, I want to shoot the M, and I love the M as a system. So as an everyday system is good for travel, like for example on the plane, it's small enough that I keep it in the bag, I slid my camera bag under the seat in front of me. I don't want to put it I never want to put my camera bag on the top, what's it called, the cabin hold, the cabin, yeah. Because then if I want my camera, it's not easy to reach. And I left my camera beside me. So it's either like I said, I wear it or I put it in a small bag, I stay under my chair, so that it's always available. I remember to take this shot because I saw the moon and I saw the fluffy clouds out the window. And this shot was shot with live view. My wife was sitting by the window. Yeah, she has had the window seat. So what I did was I put it on live view and I stick my camera against the window glass. Yeah. And then I looked over to my left, I saw that there was a sunrise going on, and then this guy was like, reading, so I took a shot of him. So you can see the M is really very versatile. To me, it's a compact camera. To me, it's the smallest full frame system that you can get. Yeah, there's no other system that's smaller really. So this is so we walked to the Hanoi. This is taken in Hanoi. We walked to one of the 5-star hotels. We did stay there, but we just had high tea there as a break, for our walking. So you can use it for everyday portraits. I use it for wedding. This guy is actually Dion. I don't know, some of you may know him. He's actually also a member of the Leica User Group, and also an end user. Yeah, so he engaged me to shoot his wedding on the actual day. So these are taken on the actual day. We had some time, so we escaped from the wedding dinner place and take some shots. I also brought it along for a trip to Malaysia with my family, self-drive trip. So then that's where, see, the M is really versatile. You can just pull it out and take. So this shot, right, is a shot that, I saw the sunrise and then there's that double starburst. Again, the high ISO helps. This is during Chinese New Year, where the kids are, so my daughter is playing with her niece and one of the girls, some girls staying in the kampong. So they were playing sparklers, not firecrackers. Yeah, and then so I, again, I don't want to disturb them so much, so I go over to the other side, film the shot, and the quiet shutter helps, as well as the fact that the high ISO is very useful. Again, right, the kampong is a very fascinating place, so I also have a series of this, which maybe one day I can show, because they also live their life on the street. This kampong in Malaysia is where they really, it's like old Singapore where it's kampong. I think if you join for you have this durian
yes.
trip, right? Yeah. Yes. See people there. I think you will probably go to some of this. I don't know whether you all will be going, but this kampong has a lot of the oldest owned durian plantation in Pahang. Yeah. So my wife's dad she's actually from Malaysia. She was born there, so her dad has a small durian plantation there. So of course we had some durians also. We drove up to one of the places. This is the durian plantation. This kid his bed right, is just right out in the open. So which is quite amazing. So I took photos of him playing with his toys. They actually do have waffles, yeah, even though it's kampung. And this is the front of the house where you can see that this lady is just coming after taking some pictures. Yeah. So the M10 is goes with me. The M goes with me everywhere. And we had when we came back, we had little portrait sessions with these also. These two are with the 50 lux. I love the 50 lux for portraits. It is very nice lens for weddings and all that. And then lastly, right, the last photo I want to show you is with something that I couldn't do with my M240 before. Is the selfie with Wi-Fi. Because of the Wi-Fi connectivity, right, this Chinese New Year was possible because you see I was controlling with the phone. Yeah. So what I did was I focused the lens first, right, and then I move over and trigger the camera with the phone. So I use it quite a bit actually for selfies, for time photos. I carry a little table tripod with my M. So even in Hanoi, right, sometimes I'll just put the M on the M10 on the tripod and then do some exposure to the city. Yeah. So that's all. That's all I have. You have any questions, you feel free to ask. Yeah, then if not, you can go and play with the cameras. Yeah, I have all this time to wait. Thanks.
You go first.
Oh.
Do you have any questions?